My father was a kind man,
My father was a king,
and he was wise.
and he was well known worldwide.
But his life was so miserable, that made his name a great tragedy, which I now dread to tell.
A tragic life though he led, he was still a great man, whose name I now proudly announce, Oedipus, and I, his eldest daughter, Antigone.
He was doomed with an evil fate from the very beginning, for right after his birth, he was made an orphan by his own parents.
It all started with a Delphic oracle before his birth that he would kill his father and marry his mother. So, his parents, also my grandparents, King Laius of Thebes and his wife Jocasta, decided to leave their newborn son in the wilderness for the crime he, my father, hadn't committed.
But here the cruel fate seems to relent, and he was saved.
He was later adopted by the childless king Polybus of Corinth as his own son, grew to maturity in peace, until one night he dreamed of a terrible scene in which he killed a faceless man.
When he was about 18 years old, he had a nightmare.
He went to Delphi to seek Apollo's instruction and was informed that the faceless man was his father,
which led him to leave the land he grew up.
Out of his son's goodwill to his own father, he decided to exile himself and headed to the opposite direction from Corinth, a fateful direction that led him to his doom.
During his wandering, he accidentally killed 4 strangers, including an old man.
On the way, due to an unnecessary quarrel, he killed an old man and 3 of his attendants, and the old man was,
who happens to be
his father, Laius, who was on his way to Delphi for another oracle to clarify who the faceless man was that killed him in his dream.
Being so kind a man, my father couldn't live with such a guilty conscience. Therefore, he tried to find a way to make up for the stranger's life he took.
After having borne the moral burden for several years, he finally came across a chance to abate it. He decided to deliver the people he didn't know by facing the man-devouring monster, the Sphinx, which he successfully did.
He solved the Sphinx riddle and set free a city that was strange to him.
And the people made him king of the city by giving him the hand of their widowed queen.
My father settled in the city, married a woman, and had 4 children.
The city my father set free is Theban.
Father did a time live in happiness and peace, until a prophet came and told him that the old man he killed was his father.
He ruled the city for a time, until a blind seer revealed the truth of the patricide he committed.
For that, he put out his eye and left the city. My elder sister went with him, for I wasn't brave enough to be homeless and take care of a blind wanderer.
And the ungrateful people he saved later drove him away after he gave himself his due punishment, blinding himself for his crimes, killing his father and marrying his own mother.
After my father died in a foreign city, my 2 brothers killed each other for the inheritance they both claimed. I buried one of them, but I couldn't do the same for the other, who, for certain sins he did, was regarded as the traitor of the city.
Now, once again, you, people of Thebes, are standing here, the land my father delivered, condemning me for burying my eldest brother, Polynices, whom you call traitor, just because he wanted to take back what was his, and you gave to his younger brother, Eteocles, the crown of Thebes.
And my sister, after burying my father, came back, and once again, she was brave enough to defy the king's order and gave our unburied brother a proper funeral.
You may sentence me to death, but I assure you that Oedipus and Antigone shall live on for the ages to come, in words that people speak and poets recite. For we've done what a righteous human being should. Finally, my dying wish is that you leave my younger sister, Ismene, alone.
The people of the city sentenced my sister to death. I buried her myself, and with her my name. It's been 10 years since her death, and I'm about to die nameless and alone.